All right, so we handled promises. Now there are some keywords that can help us make better use of those promises, or better yet, make it easier to work with. Now those two keywords are async and await, and they go pretty much together in the sense that you cannot use the one without the other. Now we'll start with async. What is the main point of async is that it makes it throw back a promise all the time. Now you use it, remember that sum function we used in the math example way back in callbacks? Well, if we place async before that function declaration, then it will automatically, when it returns a plus b, it will automatically call the resolve function of that promise. So we will resolve a promise so you can actually use the promise in your other code when you're using sum. What does that mean? Well, we just saw consumer methods for promises. So that means we can now call that sum function, and to capture the value of it, or even the error if we want to, we can use one of the consumer functions like then. And in then, we can capture the result, and that result we can do with whatever we want. Now that's async. The other one that can basically manipulate our code a bit so the flow is how we want it is await. Now, forget the A, it's waiting. It's waiting for our code to be done. So in this case, if we have a variable and we equal that to await and then some function that throws back a promise, the code is just not going to continue like a callback function. Remember, if we do sum then, the code below it is going to continue. It's the code in the then function that's only going to be executed when the sum is done. Now let's say that we just want to wait until the sum is done, sum function, and then our code continues. Now we can do that with the await function. Now await can only be used in an asynchronous function. So you have to wrap it into another function that has the async keyword. Now for example, we have here a regular function with an async keyword, and we are creating a promise in there, and then afterwards we are awaiting or waiting until that promise is done. Now this was async and await. Now let's see how we can grab all these examples of callbacks, promises, async and await, and dive a bit deeper in the fetch API.